is what's called square roots. Even in fifth grade, we get some kind of crazy math stuff here. Square roots. And this is what a square root looks like. I show it to you here. Maybe you've seen this little symbol here. This looks like a division sign, but it is not. Okay? A division sign is this. This little thing that has like the little up and down, it looks like a heart check monitor thing there. This thing is called a radical sign. And you can go, whoa, that's radical, dude. That's what it is. Okay? And just for fun, I'll tell you what this thing is. This thing is called the Radican. They won't ask you that, but at least you've got it in there. And this, when you say this, when you see this, you would say out loud, this is the square root of 36. That's exactly what you would say. If you saw this, you'd say the square root of 36. And a square root is like the backwards of powers. And the question you ask yourself when you see a square root is, what number times itself gives me the Radican? So you're asking yourself, and it's not 18. Don't think this is dividing by 2. That's not what this is. You're asking yourself, what number, when I multiply it by itself, will give me 36? What times what? What same number times itself gives me 36? Sophia, that is? It is 6. The square root of 36 is 6. Okay. And let me tell you, dear fifth graders, there's not very many square roots that actually work out. For example, well, let me do some that do, and then we'll talk about it. There is a square root of 4. What number times itself gives you 4? That one's a pretty simple one. Aaron? 2. There is a square root of 9. What number times itself gives you 9? Great. 3. There is a square root of 81. What number times itself gives you 81, John? 9. There is a square root of 100. Matthew, it is 10. All those are what we call the perfect squares. They work out nicely. But if I throw this at you, the square root of 2. What number times itself gives you the square root of 2? Or, I'm sorry, what number times itself gives you 2? What would you multiply together to give you 2? And don't say 1.5, because 1.5 times 1.5 is actually 2.25. Settler. But it's got to be the same number. You can't multiply 2 different numbers. Yeah, 2 times 1 gives you 2, but if we're talking about square roots have to be the exact same number times itself. Just like this was 10 times 10, 9 times 9, 3 times 3 times 2 times 2. What number times itself? Zach Roth? Huh? You can't actually. Well, we can. The ones that aren't perfect squares, square root of 3, square root of 5, the square root of 6, the square root of 7, the square root of 8, the square root of 10, the square root of 11. All these ones that don't have perfect squares are what we call irrational numbers because they don't make sense. If you actually even had a calculator and you put that in there, it would just give you a decimal that never, ever, 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 one more time, ever ends. Okay? And they won't ask you this because you don't know, and these they won't ask you. They will ask you the perfect squares. They'll ask you to figure these out because they work, but they won't ask you those. Now we can get close to them. For example, the square root of 2 is a little bit more than 1, it's 1.4 or something like that, or whatever it is. You can get close to them, but you can never get exact to them. So, welcome to the world of square roots, as fate would have it. Now, write down this problem here, because I've seen people struggle with this, and I want to write it down here. If 2m equals 10, what does m squared equal? And just so you don't have to write tomorrow the work poem. If you see this problem in your whatever work for tomorrow, you need to write this down, at least this. If 2m equals 10, the first thing you have to do before you even think about this part, you have to know what the letter m stands for. And anytime a letter is next to a number, that means multiply. 2 times what number gives you 10? 2 times what number gives you 10, Jana? 5. So you know that the letter m equals 5. And once you know what the letter m is, you can put 5 in for the letter m there. So then you say, okay, what is 5 squared? Please don't say 10. What is 5 squared, Caleb? 25. And that would be your answer to that. 5 squared. So this is what I should see on your paper. Well, I should probably see m squared sometimes. Now, just so you know, for those of you that thought I talked for a long time, which